So in the absence that Sunderland can't disappoint with for a change, how nice that is. This is probably the most disillusioned. This is probably the most disillusioned I've felt about whether I want the club to stay up or not. This will be my first season experiencing relegation if we go down, if and probably when we go down. But I was just basically wanting to discuss with Pete just briefly about whether we'd want to go down financially versus as a fan sort of thing. So, what would your overall thoughts be on it at the moment? Because you at one point you
like deja vu.
I know. You were very much you at one point were like, no, we need to be in the Premier League. I don't want to be in the Championship. But now you told me you're very close to being where I am.
You never ever want your own team to get relegated, and financially, for Sunderland, obviously the Premier League money compared to the Championship money, yes, there's a big difference. But there's only so much you can take when you see your team get beat on a regular basis, and it's been like this for a long time. No, I don't want Sunderland to go down, obviously. But like Michael says, is there any point being in the Barclays Premier League when we're not competing? No, I don't think there is. But there's no given right that we will come back up first time.
Oh, exactly.
So that's where that's the bit that makes my mind up. No, I don't want to go down because we might not come back up. Even though I'm one of those fans who think we will, I still don't want to take the risk. So no, relegation, no for me, no chance.
So you think we'll come back up?
If we went down, I do. Yeah, I really do. I'm not saying we'll win it, but I do think we'll go back up. Yeah.
See, the first season, I don't think we would. I think within 2-3 years, like when the parachute payments before they start. I think before the parachute payments stop, we'd come back up, but I just don't think we would at the minute. 'Cause I think there's too much stuff to sort out. I could take 2 or 3 years in the Championship, as long as we properly sort ourselves out, get ourselves sorted financially, get ourselves debt free, the mood, get more of a winning mentality back at the club again, because that's severely been lacking over the last 4 or 5 seasons. You could argue 10 years probably, but even so,
it's a hard one, isn't it? It's one of them things. If you could say to me, well, obviously you kind of, but if you could say to me, yeah, we'll come back up at the first time of asking, obviously the mentality will change. We'll get that winning feeling back. Then yeah, you would. But like I say, there's no saying that we will come back up. But that's what makes my mind up saying no, I don't want to go down because we might not come back up.
Mind you said to me everyone's got a breaking point though, and I think you said yours came at...
mine came against Man City,
yeah. No.
And that wasn't because of the performance, it was
the performance was alright against Man City, but it's the fact, it's so repetitive of the fact the amount of times we've gone behind, the game's over really. Did you leave against Man City?
First game
you leave early.
First game I've ever left early in my life, yeah.
I'm not going to go into it now. It just makes me blood boil when the media make a story out of Sunderland fans leaving early when they don't understand the context behind it.
Well, all fans leave early, don't they?
For example. With what? Yeah, well, there you go. But it just
that wasn't dig, but all clubs do it.
Yeah, well, Palace fans did it when we beat them 4-0. So every club does it.
I think it's annoying with Sunderland's players. They've made us look bad because they get beat week in, week out, week out.
Yeah,
for 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I've not left a game early yet, but the point is, can you blame fans for leaving early? And all this bollocks about, our fans aren't fans if they don't stay at the final whistle. That's garbage. That's absolute rubbish because the amount of times we've capitulated in games and winnable fixtures as well. Teams that are equally as poor, if not worse than we are, or certainly not that much better. I'm sorry, I don't see how fans can be judged for leaving early in those games. But the point is, speaking of the fans, the attendances in the Championship would worry me at home. You would get barely probably 25,000-30,000 in that division.
Like I say, it's one of them things, isn't it? Like you couldn't. I've seen like certain people saying, "Well, how would Sunderland do in the Championship?" If I said to you now, people watching this, Sunderland will win the Championship or Sunderland will go down to League One, you can't predict it because it's going to be a new set of players. It could be potentially a new owner, potentially a new manager. You can
hopefully not a new manager, by the way. But
you can physically not predict where Sunderland are going to finish next season. You can't.
Mind you, could you see Moyes walking if it went down?
No, like I say, I think it's something. I think this job has to work out for him. I think he needs to build his reputation back.
Do you think Moyes deserves a chance to build the squad?
I don't want Moyes out because we obviously one we can't afford to anyway, and two
I think it's ridiculous.
We can't.
I'm not saying he's blameless, by the way. Fans anti-Moyes need to stop saying pro Moyes fans think he's blameless because he's not.
I mean, by the time you get a new manager in, his ideas, new place,
it's just too much when you start. It's the same stuff we've done before. We need to.
Obviously, if
Moyes' track record proves it for itself.
If it didn't work out in the Championship with Moyes, then you might.
Fair enough. Then I might turn then, but
but
at the minute you've got to admit injuries haven't helped him.
No.
I don't care whether you like Moyes or loathe him. The fact is, injuries haven't helped him. If we'd had those players, in my opinion, we wouldn't be in the bottom 3, period. But the point is, Moyes I think we should stick with. The big thing is, would we sell in the Championship? And by that I mean, would we be easier to attract an owner? Would we be a better proposition?
No.
Obviously in the Premier League we would be, but do you think we could sell in
the club?
In the Championship? Bearing in mind Villa were able to do it.
It'd be a lot easier to sell with Villa in debt though. or were they not?
I'm not sure. There might have been. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
Villa, if there's any Villa fans watching it, comment and tell us if we're wrong.
I doubt there was the 170 million debt.
No. We might be wrong, but probably
like
not.
Collins.
Oh god.
No, but
that's the thing, isn't it? You know, it's going to be harder to. It's good because the thing is, the money financially, yeah. Stay in the Premier League, we do need to stay in the Premier League financially. But as a fan, the only reason I can think of for staying in the Premier League is purely so Jermaine Defoe stays. That's it. Possibly Jordan Pickford. That's it. I can't think of anything else as a fan. Because next season will be exactly the same, if not go down, if we stay up.
I agree. There is only so much you can take.
We need to get a winning mentality back at the club again.
Of course, you'd know if you ask any Sunderland fan deep down, do you want to go down? Of course, they'll say no, because everyone wants to be in the best league in the world, and so do I. Yeah. But there is only so much
of this you can take.
It's not the relegation battle so much. It's for how many years it's gone on for. No other club, I would even say in world football, not England, in world football, have been in a relegation battle for 10 years on the trot. Yeah, we've had one season where we finished 10th but in 14th or whatever. But that we didn't save ourselves until a few weeks ago. O'Neill, I know we done all right, actually, to be fair.
Well, when he came in,
when he came in,
his start of his first full season, we did atrociously. That year, we hugely underperformed for me.
But all the rest of them, though, I mean.
But that's what I mean. But you look at the fact is the point I made was the fact that I made to you a while back was that say someone like, for example, when Burnley were last in the Premier League, forget this season, when Burnley went down a couple of years ago, Burnley constantly played.
It's really hard, isn't it?
But I mean, Burnley played at their maximum capacity non-stop for most of the season, and even then it wasn't good enough. But it wasn't for a lack of trying. For me, Sunderland's players, if they played at the maximum capacity that they can show in the last third of the season, last 10 or so games, if they'd done that for the whole season, we wouldn't be in a relegation battle. That's the problem I've had. Saying that...
I'm always one of them people... By the way, I've got nothing against David Moyes, but I'm always one of them people who says, you should get the best out of what you've got, no matter what you've got as well.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I have said all season, not even Jose Mourinho could do well with that Sunderland 11. But to be fair, you look at it, and then you think, well, Moyes does have to take a bit of the blame because...
I'd agree, he does.
I've just thought this now. I mean, like Sean Dyche's getting the best out of Burnley, and then you look at Sunderland. Why is David Moyes not getting the best out of Sunderland then?
Yeah.
So forget the injuries. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Moyes has to take that bit of blame, doesn't he?
Could you honestly say the starting 11 we've got now is worse than Burnley's?
The starting 11 we got now, I don't like it at all. I think it's just on the power.
But in terms of team ethic and attitude... all that, Burnley, street yards ahead, and fully deserve to be well ahead of us, by the way. I'm not discrediting them whatsoever, and I like them a lot. But, quality for quality, I don't think the starting 11's worse than Burnley's. The difference is, Burnley players have got it right up here.
I'll tell you what, if we just quickly picked through Sunderland's 11 at the minute, right? You've got I'll just quickly say this. I've got Pickford who I like, right? And I know obviously we'll have different opinions on this, but I've got Billy Jones who I don't rate and he doesn't close down crosses. What's a full-back's job to close down crosses? You've got Dillaboji and Denaya who have been poor. You've got Coney who hasn't wanted to be here all season. You've got Oviedo who's just came in and fair enough, he looks okay.
Gibson looks all right in midfield.
And then you've got Larson who's
past it.
Way past it.
You know.
You've got Ndong who's very promising, still young, so I won't...
He'd be a crucial player in the Championship.
He'd
be crucial in the Championship to keep like Ndong.
You've got Januzaj who...
doesn't want it.
Yes, got all the skill in the world, but no, he's not interested. You've got Barini right now, not interested. And you've got Defoe who's getting no service, who's
exactly
very good player. But is that team good then? That team's not going to stay up, are they, when you've just said it like that? So
you could argue that, but I think it's better than what it's been showing. I don't get us wrong. In the last two games, I think they just haven't been good enough. I think in games with Southampton at home, Stoke at home, Burnley away, in those games they've underperformed. I think they've hugely.
I agree with your point about if someone do go down, they might then discover that winning mentality again.
That's not going to be a given, by the way. They have to earn the right to do that. But I just think that as a fan,
I think it would. You know what it is? I think this season it would frustrate everyone. Do you know how normally we turn it on in April and everyone's like, "Oh, here we go again." Sunderland playing like.
But this time I think
this would frustrate everyone. Actually, everyone would be delighted, but it would frustrate everyone if we started playing like that again in April.
Yeah, then you think, well, where's that been for?
Because it.
You know, so
I think because it clearly is there. We'll repeat myself all the time. It's getting boring, isn't it?
The thing, the last point I'm going to make. What hurt the most was that at the start of this season, there was hope it was going to be different, wasn't there? Because you had Allardyce, the way we stayed up last season, with a good 11, I might add, or at least a decent 11. It's certainly that 11 ended last season that's not bottom three material. I don't care what people say. It's a good enough 11 to compete without being a relegation battle. There was hope this season it would finally be different. We had Allardyce, someone who has a track record of stabilising teams, and the way we played the end of last season, all you had to do was re-sign Yedlin and Envia. I know you weren't as keen on Yedlin, but the point is, if you kept that 11 together, who knows? But at the end of the day, it hasn't happened. So it probably is going to be different, though, isn't it? It's probably going to go down.
Well, all I'll quickly say is, fingers crossed. Let's hope we stay up.
But if we do,
I don't think we will. But like I say, fingers crossed. Let's hope we stay up. The club has a good summer. But we need to win next week. It's simple as that. We need to beat Burnley next week. Or
if we don't, that's bye.
Yeah, it is.
That's just it. That's just it. So, look, guys. I mean, comment, subscribe if you wish to, and just stay below. Would you rather stay in the Premier League or go down to the Championship?
Well, Premier League for me.
Right, I'll tell you what. Well, answer this now.
Premier League for me.
Very quick summary. Premier League and why?
Premier League for me because you want to be in the best league in the world, and there's no give and say that you'll definitely come back up first time.
Fair enough. For me, at this point, Championship. So just make it a debate. No, for me, Championship because I'm getting sick of the same shite every year of the Premier League. And I think there's no like George Corkin once said, a Times journalist who appeared on a podcast, Wise Men Say. I'd recommend you give it a listen. It's a very good show. He said, "How's losing to Stoke, Burnley, and West Brom, whatever, was it Middlesbrough rather, worse than say beating Brentford, Burton, and Derby? For me, we need a winning mentality back again. A relegation could do us good if managed properly. There's no guarantees it would be, but if we go down, if we come back up, say within 2-3 years at best, before the parachute payments stop, then we're in a better shape than fair enough. So for me, you Premier League, me Championship. There, guys. Let's have that debate. Premier League or Championship next season? What would you rather be in? So thank you very much, guys, and please turn up against Burnley. I can't take another shocking performance and result. Obviously. See you later.